Welcome to the Flat Track Factory. Today we're going to talk about safety wiring your flat track racer. Which parts to wire, how to do it, and why. Stick around. Safety wiring is one of those mechanical skills that looks really easy, but can take a while to master. It can be accomplished with nothing more than a can of safety wire and a basic pair of pliers. I'll show you several different tools that you can use, including actual safety wire pliers. You can actually get this job done with nothing more than a can of safety wire and some diagonal cutters. The result that you'll get with other tools will be a little bit better and easier. Some people have success with standard linesman's pliers or your everyday slip joint pliers. The only real problem with using regular pliers is a bit of a patting your head and rubbing your tummy problem, in that you need to hold the jaw closed around the wire, apply tension on the wire, and twist at the same time. That can be overcome by using some type of locking jaw plier. But then you still have to pull and twist at the same time. If you're ready to spend the money on actual safety wire pliers, there's a wide price point variance. Here's cheap imported ones that work fairly well. They kind of bind up, they get sticky. It's just not that nice of a tool. You tend to get what you pay for. Here's a Millbar brand, model 41W. This is reversible, so it can twist to the right and to the left. That's important, we'll show you that later. And they're one-hand operational with cutters. The 41W is a little bit large for motorcycles, perhaps. They make another model that's slightly smaller. I probably would go that way in the future. The Millbar brand pliers come with this instruction sheet. Step-by-step instructions on how to safety wire, with drawings, and even a list of a couple of aircraft maintenance references you can obtain for free. Even with proper safety wire pliers, I like a good old-fashioned pair of needle nose for the end, and I'll show you how I do that. So, what should you safety wire? How about everything? Safe answer, right? Well, let's just go over an actual list of things that have fallen off of my motorcycle while I was on the racetrack. Number plate fell off. Cam bolt broke. Caliper fell off. Exhaust tumbled down the track. Master cylinders flopping around. No foot peg or brake lever one time. So you can see there's quite a few possibilities. Occasionally I learn vicariously. Not often, but occasionally. An example of that is oil drain plugs. Mine's never fallen out, but 5 or 6 times a year it happens at a racetrack that I'm racing. You can buy pre-drilled fasteners to make the job a little easier. Let's just say we've got the bike and it's not drilled, so we'll start from the beginning. I like to make my job easier by looking at the orientation of the faces of the bolt head and try to make sure that I can pull in tension and just make it as easy as possible. So what I want to do is run the safety wire through here, because I'm going to take my wire and run it around this way and have this fastener be pulled tight. So the wire will walk around this way and then come in this direction here. Then this fastener here will be pulled tight by this fastener by running probably the wire through here. So those are the directions that we'll drill it. So the wire will come out of this bolt here this way and go in this direction. That way when this one tries to loosen, it tightens this one and vice versa. Got the bolt out, and there are a lot of ways to do this. There are jigs that will do this for you, but again, we're going to try to get a factory result here in the home garage with some common tools. We'll use a little bit of patience and persistence, and we'll work together as a community here and give each other better ideas. So, this can be frustrating. I'm going to drill this bolt head straight through along that line that we checked a second ago. To start with, I'm going to put a little mark using this punch so the bit does not walk around. Here's 3 different types of bits. This is available at your bargain basement cheapo tool store, titanium nitride. This I got as a gift, high-speed steel, and then over here is a cobalt bit. I think we'll try this just for fun, or aggravation, and work our way up in quality and see what it takes to get done. Now, of course, this is going to be very dependent on your technique and the hardness of the bolt that we're using. Seems too slow to me. Let's try the high-speed steel. Not so good. Let's try the cobalt. There we go, just a couple minutes. A little bit of patience. Let's see how it turned out. Yeah. Would a drill press be easier? Sure thing. But it can work with a hand drill and patience. Alright, so here's the second one. I didn't do a perfect job. You can see it came out just at a slight angle, but that'll do. It's a little bit of burr on the back side, so I'll go ahead and deburr that with a file. I've got the drilled bolts assembled back into our fancy racing motorcycle, and we'll redraw those lines to remind us where the holes run. And they run in this direction, from that face to that face. And we'll go ahead and use some 0.025 diameter safety wire. If you're new to this, it's easy to get mixed up at this point. What we're going to do is feed the wire through and then take a look at which wire needs to be on top and then which direction we need to turn it. So I'm going to do it turning to the right here. So the wire that comes over the top of the bolt here, remember we're trying to turn this bolt like this, tight. So the top wire here, after I put my little kink in it, it's going to want to wrap around the top of the bolt this way, so it's going to need to be underneath the bottom wire, and then we'll give it a twist in this direction. You can switch to safety wire pliers at this point because they're a fun, cool tool, as I like to say. If I'm going to use this tool, I'm going to estimate about how far it is to the hole in the other bolt or the securing point, and then add some small extra percentage. I don't know how to tell you to do that, it's just a feel thing, but you lose some length when this wire gets twisted. I'm going to guess about like that far. Then you want to get a feel for about how many twists per inch, and that's dependent on your wire diameter. Seems to vary quite a bit, but that seems about right to me. Maybe just a little bit tighter, but probably need one more twist to make my length. I just do that by hand, actually. All right. Now we're going to go through this bolt here, again thinking about which way you want to pull this wire, because we want both of these bolts to be in tension. Now, this is where the reversible plier comes into play. We want to twist this wire in the right way so the loop does not flop over the head. If I go a right hand twist like I did on the top, on the bottom, this wire is going to end up flopping loose. It's going to look really bad and not be as effective. So this is where you would reverse the plier, or you again could do this by hand. Just give this a nice tug here, and then think about which way you want it to. You don't want to do it this way because then this loop will flop over the head. So we'll go the opposite twist, right? I could use my fancy pliers, or we could just do this by hand. Hold the tension on this and go twist the other way to the left. There we go. Now I want to manage this tail down here somehow. I like to use a needle nose set of pliers, works nice, or the angled tip here of your safety wire plier can do the same thing. So we'll cut this tail off, and my loop is going to be about this long, so I'll double that distance when I give it a cut. Watch this piece, especially if it's short. You don't want this going flying and stepping on it later or sticking your finger into it. These ends will tear you up. In reading up on this a little bit before I started filming, I came across a jet engine mechanic, and he pointed out that when you go to twist this tail into a loop, you want to be mindful of not taking the tension, the twist, off of your loop here, such that you make this loose and flop over. So I'm going to try to twist it in the same direction, about halfway down, and then make a loop out of it, and then wrap this back and tuck that super sharp tip up underneath here so it doesn't get into your finger. You can lay this back down, or even tuck this back in, depending on what kind of situation or orientation this is in on your motorcycle. But the bottom line is that when it's all said and done, you want to be able to rub your hand or somebody else to just come up to the motorcycle while they're feeling around and doing whatever they do on a motorcycle, that their fingers do not catch on that end. Again, that will just open you up. When I was first learning how to do this, my safety wire would come loose all the time until I was taught how to manage these loops, the direction of the pull, and the twist direction. So you can see this top loop on this top bolt comes around and then goes underneath the exit wire on the bottom. Then the twist of the wire is to the right, thereby forcing down this side of the wire against the surface. Conversely, on this end here, because we used a left hand twist on this wire, it is twisting and pulling this side of the loop on the bottom side of this bolt head to the left and again down towards the mounting surface. Factory tip. This motorcycle has some titanium fasteners from a racing bolt specialty company. Initially when I ordered them with safety wire holes, and some of them came with only one hole, not all the way through the bolt head like I showed you earlier. I don't know if this is actually proper or not, but I just got used to doing it that way, and this is the way my titanium fasteners are now done.
and I've been successful with it for several years.
That's safety wire basics for flat track. Let me know in the comments below if you think I missed something or have any questions. Thanks for watching.